Thanks for coming back to Tax Champion to come and find out about the killer revealed. And of course, the killer is multinational corporate tax rates. Do you know why? Because they are zero. And if a multinational isn't on zero tax rate, income tax rate, they're on point something tax rate. It's an absolute disgrace, these multinational companies paying zero tax. So they're punching us from behind, they're fisting us from down below. They are absolutely killing us. It's an outrage, but you can't get this on the normal media. We did have one bloke actually who was giving it to them in the normal media, Michael West, the old Fairfax reporter. He was doing a great job reporting on these bastards. But anyway, they kicked him out. But go and have a look at his site, michaelwest.com.au, and he names some of these corporate bastards out there paying mostly zero income tax. And so with these multinational companies paying zero tax, I think we should just wind all the way back to how tax started to see how archaic and so hidden this tax is. So let's go back in history. Years and years ago, there was a famous king sitting on the hill, eating his grapes, getting fanned by one of his juniors, and he had his gaggle of women or men, whatever his sexual preference was in those days, and he was just lapping it all up. The horses would ride up the hill, carry all his provisions, bring up all his gold, and he sat there as the king, and everyone else just copped it. Anyway, one day, he said, look, I want to make a little bit of a pathway, a bigger pathway up the hill that these horses can drag more stuff on. So he said, I want that pathway put in. Anyway, the peasants down the bottom, they started to say, well, we just can't provide that. It's impossible. We can't do it. There's not enough people and money, etc., to do that. Anyway, this is history. One of the little blokes said to his mate, he had rotten teeth, raggedy hair all over the shop. What he said was, and this is the history of tax, he said, why don't we tax the bastard? And the other fella said, what a great idea. And that is how tax started. And here we are in 2017, and we've got these multinational companies making all the money in the world, and they're paying zero tax. So from out here in YouTube land, what we're saying is tax the bastards. That's all we can do. So that little story of the history of tax, we're the peasants of today, and the multinational companies are the kings. But behind all those multinational companies are people. And what are they doing? They're holidaying in Portsea, they're living in Vaucluse in Sydney, they're up in the Hamptons in America, they're in Monaco, and all of the companies are totally overly inflated in price. So the top small percentage of the world are killing us. And this isn't a left-wing argument at all. I advise small business people here in Australia on the best tax outcomes. The small business people, they often vote for the right. So we are not voting for the left. It's not political. It is real. And everyone needs to get angry about it. So next time you come back to Tax Champion, I'll give you the solution to how we fix this scourge in the world. Come back then. See ya.